Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review the new horror thriller, Scurry. And this is from director Luke Spark and writer Tom Evans. Spark having previously done films like Primitive War and Occupation Rainfall and Bring Him to Me. And this film focuses on Mark and Kate, played by Jamie Costa, and Amalia, as two strangers who are trapped underground when giant monsters attack, and badly injured they must navigate a treacherous narrowing tunnel in hopes of finding an exit. And this takes place over the course of just... IMDb says it's an hour and 30 minutes, but like what I watched was closer to hour 40, hour 45 minutes. Honestly, I think the film probably would have benefited from only being an hour and 30 minutes. My biggest gripe with the film is that the pacing is off, and there's definitely times where it's just like, it felt like it was coming to a natural conclusion, like after an hour and 15 minutes, and then I'm like, what is gonna happen here? And it just grinds to a halt for a while. And there are some emotional beats that happen in that time that I think are well earned, but like it takes way too long getting to certain places in this film, and I think this film could have just been tighter. What's impressive, I think, about this film, and what Spark is able to do with cinematographer Wade Muller, is how the camera is like right there guiding through these tunnels with Mark and Kate. And I think both of them do a really fine job of selling this tension that's between them. They are not on the same page. They do not like each other. And over the course of the film, they find appreciation and connection with each other. Very, very human kinds of themes of coming together in a crisis and finding the humanity and the connection between people. And I think Costa and Amalia do a really fine job of that. And by the time you have some more emotional beats, they hit. And there's a particular phone call towards the end where you could just like feel that kind of emotion. They do a really good job of avoiding like really showing the monsters too often, these creatures. And when you do see them, it's like they're freaky, they are disturbing. It works for the film. I do feel like the film gets a bit repetitive because, it's over an hour and 30 minutes of two people just crawling through tunnels. And they do keep up the tension with this banter, this conflict going on between the two of them. But this film could have easily been told in a much leaner package. But it's still effective. It still has those horror thriller elements and those genre, like those feelings of like checking those boxes on like what you want out of a movie like this. It scratches that itch. It certainly does, even if it does feel a little stretched out and a little stretched too thin. Because to be frank, there's not a whole lot of plot here. And, it has one of those types of endings where it's just like realizing that this was much smaller budgeted and you had a very narrow focus, but there's a much bigger story going on here. And I guess it opens the door to like they could do more with it. I'm not going to be clamoring for Scurry 2, but, I feel like I'd probably watch it. As long as it has this film just lacks story. It has conflict. It has those genre thrills. And it has some inspired camera work and stuff like that. It just lacked, a more cohesive structure to it, which made it lag at times and make you feel like you're getting disengaged. But by the end, overall, I think it was a pretty satisfying genre flick that checks some boxes. But those are my thoughts on Scurry. Let me know what you think and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.